Hello, my name is Theresa Dove. I'm 28 and I live in Etobicoke, Ontario, and I have borderline personality disorder, or abbreviated, it's BPD.
So Theresa, talk a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, jobs you've had, and schools you've attended.
Okay, so let's tackle the first subject, the question you asked, how was it growing up where I grew up? Basically, I grew up in South Etobicoke, which is right before you hit like downtown Toronto. It's in between Mississauga and downtown Toronto. It's in the suburbs, but it's also close to downtown. So the area has always been like semi-filled with drugs and whatnot, because it's not complete suburbs like Vaughan or like Markham or whatnot, or Oakville or anything. So, I mean, we've always had like drugs, and I remember seeing like prostitutes on the street like once in a while growing up, not like every day on the street corner. But basically the main vibe I had growing up was just with everything that happened to me, just basically I felt like I didn't fit in, because like everyone in my school valued popularity rather than intelligence, and I got bullied a lot, especially when I started to dress differently, like when I got platform goth boots when I was in grade 6. I remember one day, every single minute I would walk down the hall when class was over, be like, ew, what are those? Ew, what are those? Ew, what are those? So, and just growing up as a child, like even when I didn't dress differently, when my parents dressed me, or when I tried to emulate what my friends were wearing, it was still like, you're weird. And I never really understood why I was weird until, you know, obviously my brain developed to a point where I could be introspective. And also I saw therapists and they said, you have borderline personality disorder and it comes from childhood trauma, which makes sense. I mean, like, the reason I was weird is because I had post-traumatic stress disorder, which later developed into borderline personality disorder. So the way I was acting in school was different from everyone else, because when I got home, I would be beaten up. There would be blood, like almost not, there wouldn't be blood every day, but I would be like beaten up really badly every day. Like my head was smashed into the wall. One time I was holding onto my computer because I was addicted to computer, like to Neopets and like to anything computer related. Like, it's a coping mechanism, and she was trying to take that away from me. I'm like, no, I don't want to go to bed. And I was freaking the fuck out. And she like takes me and she like grabs me and shoves me away from the computer so hard that like I was holding onto like the metal desk, and like, you know, those school desks that like underneath there's a metal like plate that goes like this, and like so my hand was like, it was like this, and I was like holding like this, and it like scraped my fucking hand, and it was like, I remember looking at my hand, it was filled with blood. I'm like, and then one time my mom killed my birds to teach me a lesson. My mom beat my dog till she died. Didn't take care of my dog. Didn't take care of my dad either. Didn't take care of me. No one was taken care of in the home. It was basically poo, pee, hoarder, like to the sky of, like a hoarder's mess to the sky, filled with fucking garbage. I remember like the whole computer desk was just filled to the top with garbage at one point. We didn't have mice or roaches, thank God. Had lots of bugs though. So that was my childhood in a nutshell. Could go on forever, but in a nutshell, that was my childhood. The second question was,
how was the job life?
How was my job life? Well, because I grew up with like severe, like having experienced severe trauma, the trauma started, like I found out when I emancipated myself, and I had to look at police reports in order to prove to the social services agency that I needed to be emancipated and I needed to get welfare, like even as a teen, even in high school. I had to show them police reports that I'm not safe and my parents aren't able to be my legal guardian, so I become my own legal guardian. I did that in grade 11, and I found out that the abuse started when I was a baby, and yeah, so that breaks my heart. knowing that like my mother is that evil, that she started when I was literally a baby. So that's cool. My brain like developed in such a fucked up way because it started from so young, like, which made me like the only jobs I'm able to really like tolerate are makeup related jobs. And because of COVID, like I had to quit my job at Shoppers in the makeup section because I was just becoming like toilet boutique, not makeup boutique. And I just started making like almost $2,000 a month with commission. And I was just fucking on top of the world, and just COVID hit. So right now I don't have a job, so that's affected my jobs. I went to makeup school, didn't get along with anyone because they were talking about, oh yeah, I went to like Bahamas, I went to Barbados, I fucking went to the ballet, I fucking grew up and my parents cared about me, and like, and then I was just like fucking one day shut the fuck up and just listen to metal while I like sculpted my like creature, my special effects shit. I'm like, I really don't give a fuck about your perfect life. Like, I can't connect with you. Can you either be good at art or not? And most of them fucking suck shit anyways. I was like better than them, not that it fucking mattered, because I didn't want to kiss up to the teacher who like brought me a rose one day or something, or it was just weird. And then like another professor tried to sleep with me in another school. That was part of my school experience. Like, I was just like, I felt he had a small wee-wee, so I just fucking, I yeeted out of there because I don't got time for that. So yeah, school experience was always bullied, was always different, had a normal phase in theater school. People still call me weird, so then I like fucking shaved my head. Still got 80s and 90s in school because that's where I get my self-worth mainly. I'm in, sorry, the next question is school. Work. Yeah, work is just fucking hard to maintain unless I'm working like makeup retail or I'm doing makeup for clients. Like, but like the majority of them are like either like men or they're just non-misogynistic women, because most women in makeup are underlying misogynists and extremely catty. I don't want to use the word catty. I'm going to say abusive, because even this one gay guy, like when I was working at my first Shoppers, like I had spiky shoes and he's like, were you abused? I'm like, so I don't know. I just attract a whole bunch of shit. I don't know, in my work, it's hard to find a job where like I don't eventually leave because people just make me take out the garbage all the time or make me clean or just make me do everything and get paid minimum wage. So I'm fucking tired of that. Right now I'm doing some like, not retail makeup jobs, but I've been doing some very small freelance makeup jobs, like finally, like, you know, like, oh wow, now I'm actually a makeup artist, you know, and just some retail motherfucker who can't do makeup, just needs to sell cream, you know what I mean? And I'm getting to the school experience. Sorry if this is too much rambling. I also...
But how do you feel that BBD possibly affected how you worked or your work environment?
Just maybe a target. People could see that I was, like, there was just something different. And I think when they first see me, they're like, we don't know what that is. But as soon as they hear the way I speak, they hear that I say sorry 20 times, they see that I'm a people pleaser, they see that I prefer to wear a lot of black, which is also why I love retail makeup. You just wear a lot of black, and black nails, and I like things that are different. And they start to question why. They're like, oh, do you like that? You like special effects, the sight of blood. I'm just using this as an example because you were abused and that's what you saw growing up. And like, yes, that's why I like it. Because it feels like home. That's why I love horror movies, because they feel like home. Sorry. What was the question?
Just asking how BBD could have possibly affected your workplace or how things were in school.
Yeah, it just made me an easy target.
Very vulnerable, right?
Extremely. Like, I had because I even went through a normal phase, and even then I had like and I tried not to talk. And whenever I did talk, I tried to do my best to like mirror how they were talking or what they were talking about. I even tried to wear what they wore when I first went to theater school, and I dropped out because I got bullied. I'm like, okay, I'm going to wear Lululemon. I'm going to have brown hair. I'm going to research all the musicals. I'm going to know exactly what they're talking about. And then they just start talking about other shit, and I'm like, I can't relate. it just makes it like impossible to relate to anyone who isn't a heroin addict or meth addict or fucking dead.
And do you find it like they see your BPD and they use that as a vice to
all the time,
harm you?
especially women, because they see that I'm like physically beautiful, especially when I wear makeup. When I don't wear makeup, I look like a cute little blob, but I'm still cute. That's one thing with all the sexual abuse has taught me, like, wow, in order for me to like fucking justify it in my head, it's like, yeah, it wasn't my fault and it's because I'm so sexy. That's why I was raped so much. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only possible fucking thing I could think of. Not that I'm worthless and they wanted to overpower me because rape isn't even about sex. I can't even think like that. Sorry.
So moving on, outside of work and school, what's kind of the daily struggle that you have with BPD?
Just like, I have a lot of delusions, and also like, even though I'm just mainly talking about BPD, I also have schizoaffective disorder, which means I have schizophrenia comorbid with a mood disorder, which is major depression. I have very severe depression. I'm on the highest dose of for my antidepressant like strain. So not only do I have like delusions where my thoughts are telling me like, you're worthless, you should just die, nobody cares about you, I also have actual voices saying that in my head every single day. So I deal with that by smoking weed, and it's proven like from peer-reviewed articles that cannabis helps people with schizophrenic symptoms. I don't know necessarily what it does. I haven't like fully read the article or any articles, but like I'm also in some schizophrenia like support groups, and they say like, does weed help? And so many people are like hunters are like, yes it does, CBD helps, weed helps, like especially CBD strains, like not THC strains, like that makes me go into psychosis.
So where would you like to see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, holy fudge-sicles. So I'm 28, right? So in 10 years, I'm going to be 38. It's usually 5 years for job interviews. Okay, so you've outdone yourself. You know. Now I have to double think. Now I have to put in maximum effort with my thoughts. And
About 5 years.
Okay, 5 years. Okay, so basically I'm supposed to have graduated from my program, which is like social work, but for children and youth. I don't want to fucking work with adults. I fucking hate those cunts. They ruin my life. Children and youth are innocent. I want to try and help them. So basically, in 5 years, I'm going to have like worked 2 years as a child and youth worker, and I want to get into IATSE by then. Just because I'm like working on film makeup, so like I want to put in as many hours as possible to like join the union. I also want to like have my own little makeup studio, like do more freelance, or just be like, okay, I'm a success at one thing I went to school for. I'm also a success at another. And since I did like one little theater stint, like one like performing arts preparation, I want to like see what I can do with that, and maybe like for fun, like be in a metal band, like not necessarily care if it goes anywhere, but just like express my feelings through screaming. Maybe like I got a busking license, but I was too much of a pussy to do that on my own without my boyfriend, and he doesn't really like playing the guitar. So my goal is to like be like a busker, but like even though you can't have an amp and like dance to Lady Gaga and paint myself in all gold, and I'm gonna be Lady Gaga, and I'm gonna sing like Lady Gaga songs, you know, like in the shallow, in the shallow, low, in the shallow, far from the shallow now. I love Lady Gaga so much. Just have to put that in there.
So, overall, what has helped the most with BPD?
Okay, yeah, for sure. So the things that helped me the most with my BPD will be ongoing therapy that I did for 3 years straight, every 2 weeks, with a really effing, like, capable and professional and amazing and caring and empathetic woman who's no longer my therapist because she changed hospitals. But she she helped the shit out of me for 3 years. And also being on the right medication. Like, I have a really, really, really good, I don't have a counselor anymore like that lady, but I do have a psychiatrist, which I guess is better, that I try to see regularly. So I would say medication, someone that you click with in mental health care, and support outside of a professional environment. Like if you have like 3 friends who don't think you're total fucking shit, that's friggin' awesome. One of my really good friends, she also has BPD and I didn't even know. I'm like, dude, I didn't even know. Like, dude, I love her more now. And I have another really good girlfriend that I love, who's a really good person, and she's an artist as well. And then I have, I got a few boyfriends. Okay. I would say that. I would say, you need professional mental health support. You need social support. You also need like your own personal sort of support system, like some sort of self-soothing system, like when it's like 3 a.m. and you're just like, oh, nobody's around or some shit. Like either wake them up, annoy the fuck out of them like a little bit of the time, but like most of the time try to like, half the time, like, oh, play video games, like where you shoot everyone because you're so fucking angry because nobody loves you and they can all fucking die, sort of thing.
So.
And art. Sorry. Because one time I tried to kill myself, but then I had thought was like, don't leave music. I'm like, true. But mainly, God, I would say, like, I don't know, that one girl I was talking about, one of my really good friends, she's a Satanist, so like I don't want to be like you can be a fucking atheist. Just really, I would say you don't need God if you're an atheist or Satanist. I would say like just medication, therapy, 1 or 2 good friends who will let you call them at 3 a.m. and like some sort of hobby. If you're on like a disability, if you're in a really bad spot or it's COVID or whatever, you have nothing to do. Just like, if you like to play video games, play video games. If you like to paint rocks, paint rocks. If you like to garden. If you like to sing. If you like to go on bicycle rides, like just something to keep you busy. If you like working, if you're at that point where like COVID hasn't affected you and like you're fucking dope and like you found a job that you're passionate about or that you can handle or tolerate, like that as well. Just a way to fill your time to get away from your thoughts. And I would say also like your therapist should provide some sort of like dialectical behavioral therapy, like strategies for you if you're ever in crisis. And like a phone number should be provided. Like for me, there's Good to Talk for like post-secondary students. They're 24 hours. It's 1-800 Good to Talk. So that's really dope. So like if you call like, what was the other one? God, I don't know. Just Google it. Just Google it if you're an adult. I'm sorry, I only care about youth. If you're in post-secondary, call 1-800 Good to Talk. Sorry. Stella's House. Stella's House is good. Oh, crap, that's only young adults. Okay, whatever. Screw adults. I'm sorry. Like, you should have fixed your problems by now. Everyone needs help.
So, in closing, what advice would you give to others who are struggling with BPD right now?
What I'm gonna like the audience that I want to make this out to is gonna be like people who are teenagers, because I want to tell them that it does slowly, very, very fucking slowly. It gets better, like very fucking slow. But it really fucking does. And it actually takes work. Like when you do dialectical behavioral therapy, there's homework. And like, even though like your DBT stems from trauma, that's not your fault. It's now your job to, not all at once, but to get counseling and therapy and to heal, because you deserve to heal and you deserve to feel happy, and all this mumbo fucking jumbo that everyone fucking says all the time. And it's not that fucking easy. Basically, what I want to tell my younger self, because life was so much harder when I was younger and I just like forget that all the time, is that like, no, most people, they don't give a fuck, but you will find people, if you keep living, who do give a fuck, and that makes all the fucking difference in the fucking world. So please just keep on living, because I swear to God, you're gonna find that one or one person or two people or three people like down the line, maybe even more, and you're gonna say like, wow, I'm so happy I didn't kill myself. I'm so happy they revived me with charcoal when I went to the hospital. I'm so happy like I did 3 drugs at a time and I was fucking fine, didn't have brain damage. Like, I'm so happy I actually made it to adulthood. And you're not gonna be like these other fucking dumb fucks who are like, I do when you get old. Like, bitch, either get old or die. Those are your only 2 choices. I don't know who the fuck you think you are. Like, and then you're gonna have so many experiences. You're gonna be like, wow, I'm so happy I lived to have this experience. Like, I was raped so much and I never had an orgasm like from penetration. And like, I was really sexually abused, like really severely. Like, I wasn't with a guy for 9 years and I told everyone I was a lesbian. Like, straight up, I'm a fucking lesbian. Do not fucking touch me. Do not fucking talk to me. Like, I would never tell anyone that I liked guys for 9 fucking years, man. Like, it was hard as fuck. So, like, it is possible, like, even if you were sexually abused as a child, because I was sexually abused as a child, like, it is possible to enjoy sex, and that is literally, like, rape is not sex. It's nothing to do with sex. It's about power and it's abuse. Real sex, like, just trust me, like 15, 16-year-olds, just wait till you're a bit older. Just, you know, like, and then you're also gonna like find that one ice cream that tastes amazing. You're gonna see that one sunset that's so beautiful. You're gonna hear that one song that speaks to your fucking soul. You're gonna maybe have that one child that you're like, wow, I understand why I was born, was so I could breathe life into this amazing person and watch this person grow, and I helped with that. Or like, you'll never have kids and you can just dedicate your life to something that you love, because no, you don't need to have kids to be a full person. Just like, you're gonna have so many experiences and it's gonna come slowly, but it's gonna come, and you're gonna be like, wow, I'm really glad I waited, even though it felt like fucking hell and I wanted to kill myself 100 fucking times over. I'm really happy I fucking didn't, even though I have scars on my fucking arms and I have scars all over my body from the abuse and from hurting myself. It's like, you know, you just put some glycolic acid or some vitamin E on that. Like, you know, take a nice bubble bath. Like, it's not hard all the time. Sometimes you get those moments of nice comfort that, like, it's going to be okay. And, like, because it's not bad. I'm just going to close off with a quote from The Crow, because I'm goth, right? So, it can't rain all the time, basically. And that comes from a dead guy who was fucking hot. Bruce Lee's son. Oh. Half Asian. Oh. Sorry. Okay. I wish I was Asian. Sorry.
Well, thank you for your time.
I'm sorry. I'm crazy. Okay.